my name is Vernon. I'm a grateful recovering addict. I come here today, I want to talk about addiction. And I know when I said that I'm an addict, the first thing that may have came to your mind was drugs. And yes, I have had some experience with drugs, but I want to share with you that I have addicted behaviors way before I ever picked up drugs. I'm talking about when I was just a little kid. I used to buy candy. It was sugar babies. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about, sugar babies. And some of the other kids would just get a couple of them, and I would get like a handful of them and put it in my mouth. And then it started just with the experiment of marijuana. Then I started drinking. I'm in the seventh grade. I'm drinking MD 2020 and things like that. But I was one of those persons that you would call a coping addict, right? You say that I'm a coping addict because I went to work. I performed real well on the job, and I did things the way I supposed to do things, but I still had this little dark secret, if you will, right? So I ended up getting married, and as I continued to drink, I continued to go downhill. And one thing about, regardless of what your addiction is always going to take you downhill. You can be addicted to food. You can be addicted to pornography. You can be addicted to shopping, to trying to be right. Yes, and you can be addicted to social media. So as I began to continue to drink, and finally, my ex-wife said, enough is enough, and she put me out. Okay, then I went fast, real hard, real fast to the bottom. I hit the rock bottom, and I asked God to help me, because my mother had planted a seed in me. She said, Vernon, no matter what you do, you can always call on God. And I called on God, and he helped me in that. And I began the recovering process, and I ended up in the Salvation Army. Okay, and remember going to the Salvation Army. And I remember checking in. I remember when the counselor said, Vernon, name 3 things that you would like to get from this program. I said, I want to stop using drugs. She said, okay. I said, I want a working relationship with God. She said, okay. Then I began to think about the 3rd thing, and tears began to come down my eyes. And she said, what's the 3rd thing? I said, I want to know who I really am. See, I have forgot and got lost in active addiction. You get lost in active addiction, and my parents, she began to see, mom seen me getting lost, because I still remember one time she said, Vernon, I was leaving. I was a kid. She said, Vernon, right? I said, what, mom? She said, could you please tell me when you find yourself, let me know I miss my son. So see, addiction is about losing yourself, man. It's not about drugs. It's about losing who you really are. And then I go to a 12-step recovering program, and they tell me that drugs were just a small symptom of what I'm recovering from. So I said, huh? They said drugs is just a small symptom of what you're recovering from. And I had built a relationship with Christ. And I want to tell you how building a relationship with Christ is different from going to church. I had a personal relationship with Christ, so I took it to him. I said, God. And he said, yeah, Vernon. I said, they telling me drugs not my problem. And he said, drugs are not your problem, Vernon. I said, God, what is my problem? He said, your problem, Vernon, is that you don't know who you are. Allow me to help you identify and learn who you are, Vernon. You are more than a conqueror, right? And then God began to restore me, man. And he began to build me up and began to build and renew my thinking. And I began to get self-confidence and stand boldly and proud and begin to look people in the eyes. I began to like myself. So I want to share with you guys, man, 4 proven tips that have improved my life in the recovery process. One of them, the first one, you have to admit you have a problem. You must admit that you have a problem. not your wife, not your kids, not your co-worker. You have to admit it. It comes from their own admission, man. You have to look within and say, you know what? I'm tired of being overweight. I'm tired of spending all my money on shopping. I'm tired of trying to control my kids that don't want to listen to me. I'm just tired of living this way. You have to admit that you have a problem. That's number one. Number two, you have to be willing to ask for help. Yes, you have to be willing to ask for help. Did you know that soon as you ask for help become available? I'm talking about the universe began to work. God began to work in your life. He began to move people out of the way, and he began to make things happen for your good, for your better. But it's okay to get some help. Yeah, Black folks, it's okay to go to therapy. It's okay. It's okay to get a life coach. It's okay. It's okay to take medication. It's okay. Help is available. The third thing, you must be willing to surrender your life to God. I call him God. I know some of you people have a problem with the word God. That's okay. You can call him your higher energy. You can call him nature. You can call him the universe. Long as he's loving and caring and is more powerful than you. That's all we ask. And the fourth one is become willing, and I dare to love. Unconditional love. We must learn how to love. Now, love is tricky, man. I had it wrong, and if y'all can relate to me, please let me know. I thought I had love all backwards. I did. I had love all backwards. I thought I loved people based on them. I come to find out through the grace of God that I love other people not based on them, but on based on who he is. I don't love you because of you. I love you because of him. And I'm allowed to get out of his way so he can bless you. And that's what we have to do. We have to learn how to love people unconditionally. But how can I love you, man? How can I love you if I don't know what love is? How can I love you if I don't have love within me? I can't give you, man, what I don't have. If one of you guys asks me for $100 and I don't have it in my pocket, I can't give it to you. I can't give you love. I can't give you forgiveness if I don't have it. So allow love to fester, if you will, fester in your heart and just give it away freely. And I remember before my mother passed, man, she had, got cancer again, man. And me and her had built a loving relationship, and we used to just sit there and talk over coffee and things like that. And I remember one time I was leaving, man, and I was just leaving her, man. And she reached out to me. She said, Vernon, and I turned around, and she had tears in her eyes, and her eye was red, man. And I said, Mom, what's wrong? She looked at me. She said, thank you for finding my son. And that's what recovery do, man. Recovery find out who you really are. Recovery help you find out the person who God wanted you to be, man. Right? And she looked at me. She said, you have become a man, Vernon. She said, right in front of my eyes, I want you to become a man. Now, a lot of men have called me a man before, but when a man calls you a man, it's different, man. When a man calls you a man, it's superficial. It's about how many women you done been with. It's about how much money you make. What type of car do you drive? But when a woman, especially your mother, when she call you a man, you best believe, bro, you a man. Right? Because see, a woman, she look as a man from what's inside. She look at your character, man. She look at your heart, the essence of your soul, man. And it's all right to be a man. Man, I began to just live this life, man, freely and just giving my whole life to God, man. I'm gonna share a couple of secrets with y'all, man. A lot of people think addiction is about drugs. Addiction is about freeing yourself And recovery, man, is about giving your life to God, man. Enjoy the rest of the Success Fest 21.